Welcome everybody back to the Red G Fox channel. Man, this is it. This is the final round. This is Sunday, you're seeing this, and this is the last chance to cast your votes. Tuesday, it is officially done Tuesday evening to where that's it. We're in the championship. As of right now, we know we got Big Money Grip with the swivel hips.
Have no fear, Big Money Grip is here.
And the Card Sharps, they won. They made it.
Well, bottoms up.
Top two make it to the championship. And in this one, we have four of the best. Two of them didn't have to go in the first round. I kind of let them slide to here. And surprisingly, one of them is not doing too well. So let's cover who is in this. The top two make the championship going against the other two, or four if you technically want to say the Card Sharps. My favorite being Hucklebuck. But oh my gosh, this has been so fun. And we're going to finally wrap it up next week. So thank you everybody who's been participating. We'll get the number of votes, but it's in the thousands, man. And we are such a small channel. And to get thousands of votes for this, it really means a lot to me. And it means a lot, I know, to you guys because I hear your opinions voiced. And let's get right to it. We're going to start right off the bat with Sonny Cochran. Yes.
Hey, Sonny. How you doing? Come right on in. Yeah, Frank, this is Sonny Cochran. Sonny, this
Hello,
is
Sonny. Hey, Miss Sanford.
He's at 30%. This is actually blowing me away. He is pulling the upset over one of the favorites, at least in my opinion, and other people who were talking out during this tournament who they thought would make the finals. So Sonny Cochran, we know he's sort of a lawyer, sort of a tailor.
Say, Sonny, are you a lawyer? That depends on who you ask. If you ask me, I'm a lawyer. Well, who says you're not a lawyer? The state of California.
Excuse me, still getting better. But we will have some clips of him. There is no one in Sanford and Son that I would want to stand up before an audit judge to speak for me than Sonny Cochran. I know Fred gets the job done, right? He's up there and I demand justice. And that's one thing we love about these is that you have to break it down. What is it that we love? Is it the character or the episode? To me, it's always the character. We know the episode is fantastic. We know Big Money Grip makes that episode, right? And there's so much else into it. But with these, like when I think of this episode, Sonny Cochran always comes to mind. It's not just Fred in the courtroom making a huge push and fight for Lamont. It's also that I remember Sonny Cochran, and I think it's because they're so memorable in their one appearance. The episode itself is also, you know, you never see him again. So if you want to see Sonny Cochran, you got to go watch this episode. So I think they go hand in hand, but I lean a little more towards the characters. But with Cochran, as he's there and he's so great at pointing out the obvious. You have 2 pride tickets? Do you know what this means? That this is if you get this, this is your 3rd ticket.
Did you hear that, Fred? Man, that was legal talk.
And Grady and Fred, how they're like, that's legal talk, you know, they're busted up. It makes it such a great scene. And then he pulls off his hat and he sits there and he does this huge speech. Your Honor, I throw myself on the mercy of the court. And then Lamont's like, I'm not doing this. You can see Lamont the whole time. He's not falling for it, but he actually does make great points. And Lamont kind of does do that. He defends his rights. But man, Sonny Cochran, when, like I said, 30%, he is incredibly and what I love too is his confidence. And then Fred's like, thank you for the legal advice, you know, and I never charge my friends, but you can buy a couple suits for me. So he's very memorable, and he's only in a small part. He's not like Big Money Grip or like Osgood, who's in the whole episode, or like 80% of the episode. He's very small, but it is so huge. And the fact he's at 30%, if it ended today, Sonny Cochran would be in the Final Four, and I did not think that would happen. I knew he would be a fan favorite, but I did not think that would happen. So that's it on Cochran. Let's get to our next one, and that is Big Lou Turner.
Fred, meet Lou Turner.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, I'm sure.
Why don't we all have a nice glass of wine now?
What you trying to do there? I mean, you don't get no milk out of there.
This is one where I thought Turner would get more votes. He's only at 4%. So if you're a big Lou Turner fan, you better get out there and vote. and share it with your page or any of your friends and get them to vote more, because it doesn't look like Turner's going to make the top 2. He's got to overcome 2 other guys, and one of them being, we just talked about, Cochran. He's not catching up and passing Sonny Cochran. And by the way, side note, Sonny Cochran actually was inspired by Johnny Cochran, O.J. Simpson's defender. He was big in the 70s and 80s before he ever took the O.J. case in L.A. He was a big-time attorney, and this is all basically what I read upon on the show, and Sonny was actually inspired by, that's why they gave him the Cochran. Sonny Cochran, Johnny Cochran. So just a little fun fact if you are watching. So Big Lou Turner, 4%. He is a rival to Fred. Fred is there to talk to Donna, and he's like, who belongs to this cigar? And out comes Lou Turner. One of my favorite things about him, and he's been in other things as well. Remember, he was in the show Sanford, if you didn't know, if you didn't watch Sanford. He was in that as Fred's new girlfriend's brother. And he's kind of like the male Esther, where he's kind of a pain in Fred's side, but nowhere near as good as Esther, of course. But he's very funny, and in this he is very memorable, Lou Turner, as we know he's winning all the Senior Olympics. No one even wants to compete this year because he's so good. He wins all the events, as Grady shares with Fred. And then I love Fred. He's like, the decathlon. He's all, how you gonna beat him? He's all, and Fred's like, one thing. What is the decathlon?
I'm not gonna get in no decathlon until I get one thing straightened out.
No, what's that, Fred?
What is decathlon?
Man, there's so many times, on a side note, that I love Fred, where he builds it up. Remember, like, when he goes to get the last time I called it hemorrhoids. Yes, I called it hernia. Hemorrhoid surgery.
What's the problem in here? Just wait a minute. May I ask you a first question? Who are you?
And he's like, the doctor walks in, he's all, wait a minute, can I ask you a question? And you're like, wait, what's he gonna say? Who are you? And that's the same thing he does here. He's like, hold it, Grady, hold it. What is it, Decathlon? And even Grady laughs right there. We'll show a clip.
Alone this year, everybody's afraid of him.
Well, I ain't afraid of it.
Oh, okay, then it's settled.
But I love when Grady laughs at it as well. So he's got to go against Lou Turner, who everyone else is scared of him. So we know he's physically good. He's got a great voice. He's an expert at wine, right? He owns his own liquor store. That's more successful than Fred's junk shop. So he's big, good looking. And then I love when he's like, yes, it should be, all fine wine should be decanted to allow it to breathe.
I put the wine in the decanter to allow it to breathe. Breathe.
And then Fred, he's all, breathe. Fred does the deep voice probably better than Lou because he's adding to it, but then he's all, breathe.
Breathe.
Oh my gosh. That whole scene when they're in there and he's like, and then he's all, yeah, and I do 100 push-ups every day. And Fred's all, yeah, why don't you do one more and shove it up your nose? Fred talks so much trash. And then when they finally get to it, he's like, say that outside. Let's go outside. We got to show that clip.
I'd say that.
I'd be happy
Well,
to.
come on in.
Lou, Fred.
Don't worry about nothing. I'll take care of myself.
Oh,
Listen.
Fred.
That's always the first time I've ever seen that. I'm like, oh man, I wonder if they're going to show outside. Is Fred going to fight him? And he locks him out. That's a smart move. See, that's what I love about Fred. He's so smart. I got to stay off Fred. This is not his topic. We're talking about Big Lou Turner. But Big Lou Turner, and then he comes at the end. Now, this is my biggest debate. And we've already covered it. We voted it. We put a poll out on our channel, and I lost. But it's still, even when I'm wrong, because majority's right, I just feel like when they do the arm wrestling, Lamont tries to warn him, right? So let's set it up. We talk about Fred early in the episode. Remember, he throws let me see if I can convince you, community. Remember when they're doing the disc? Because he can't jump rope. He's having a hard time doing a push-up. He's like, one, help me up. So he can't do that. But when he chucks that, his presidential collection for hubcaps.
Yes.
Wow. You sure got a strong arm, Fred.
Yeah, you know, that's because that arm wrestling I always do. I'm the best at that.
Yeah.
He chucks it super far, and Fred's like, that's because I'm good at good arm. I can do arm wrestling. So they're painting a picture that Fred can't arm wrestle. Forget Osgood Wilcox. That's in the past. He's stronger. And then even Lamont, when they go to arm wrestling, he's like, you think you can beat me? Fred was not even scared for a second. He knows Lou's a good guy as an athlete. And Lamont's like, hey, wait a minute. You know, he's even trying to, hey, Mr. Turner, you know, I don't think he called him that, but he's like, you don't want to do this. And then Fred beats him, and he's like, yeah. Because he has the injury, which we know is fake, people have said, no, he lost on purpose. I still don't feel that. I feel that he would have wanted to show Fred up, especially in front of Donna. And that he tried to. He's like, oh, you know, you couldn't beat me in arm wrestling. And he goes to. Because now it's like, if by losing this, I know this is all hypothetical. He can't say anything now to Donna or even anyone else. I think he did this little fake thing to act like it, to show face to Fred. Because Fred knows he beat him. And yes, he did get Donna. So I get that. I think that was, I lost. Let me fake the injury and get something out of this because I look stupid now because he was doing this and he lost. I think Fred, and if you're a guy out there, you got to say, would you swallow your pride and lose at arm wrestling to this guy when you know you dominate every year? I know I wouldn't. I would say, I'll win, and then maybe I could say, yeah, Donna, I hurt my elbow in the win. I don't know. It's all hypothetical, but I can't really be convinced. Share in the comments what you think and convince me why I'm wrong on that. So anyways, I talked way too much on Lou Turner. So that's it, 4%, man. Maybe I was wrong about him. I thought he would be much higher than that. And then our last two guys, we also have another rival for Fred, Osgood Wilcox. He dominated his first round. Right now, he is at 50%. So
Oh, y'all dancing. Look like she's holding you up. Look like she's carrying a tree stump.
we know starting this tournament, it was almost a foregone conclusion. It's going to come down to 4, but we know the front runners are Big Money Grip and Osgood Wilcox. Two of the most classy, memorable characters. Now, with Osgood Wilcox, we already broke him down in another one, so I'm not going to talk too much on him. I'm not going to do any clips and then just showing a few here and there, but no audio clips. With Osgood Wilcox, I think at the end, I think Big Money Grip's going to win it. I could be wrong. I didn't think Sonny Cochran would come in second, and right now he is. But with Osgood, we've had people in the comments, not just one, but multiple people say Osgood third. They have Osgood third, and they're like, I don't get it. What's so big about Osgood? Why are people voting for Osgood? He's boring. I don't know when I watch the episode, he doesn't do too much jokes. He does have some funny parts when he's sitting there and he's all talk, talk, talk. You know what I hate about it? All the talking. And I love talking with Donna. You know, so he has some funny parts, but most of it is Fred playing off him, or Donna and Fred and Lamont playing off Osgood. But Osgood throwing himself down, lifting up the chair, lighting the cigarette, doing the karate, you know, or the judo, and making Fred say, this guy's crazy. I don't see anything boring with Osgood, and I love his voice. Roscoe Lee Brown, maybe that's just us. You know, a lot of us community really like him as an actor, but I just can't see Osgood being boring. So you can't ever convince me of that. But I respect anyone's opinion who says, I didn't really enjoy him, right? That's what we love about the show. That's what we love about these characters. People have screamed they loved Betty Hairston, and yet she didn't even finish top 2 in her tournament, right? And I really like Betty Hairston. But I think she did finish second. It was Cousin Emma. She wasn't in the one with the ladies' night. So anyways, and then we get to our final one, and that is Gus.
See, now look, you done spent the night here. You done had your continental breakfast. Now it's checkout time.
This is the one that I thought, and we've had other people say they think it's going to be Gus, Osgood, and Big Money fighting it off at the final. But Gus ain't going to make it. I can't see. He's got to double up to beat Sonny Cochran. And that's what I love, is that in this one, we've already got over 550 votes. And that's a lot. That's a lot for a channel that just has 1,000 subscribers. And the fact that Gus is losing bad. You know, and some people have said, the people that don't like Osgood, they say, hey man, I got Gus, I got Cochran. Why is Osgood up there? Osgood's going to win. Now it comes down to, can Gus at 15% double up and by doing so, bring down Sonny Cochran? At this stage, I'd say no. Usually in every round, when you have a big lead, it's not like it's 20%. Like we saw with the Card Sharps, they barely won 20% to 16. They barely overcame that over the 3 degrees. Unfortunately, 3 degrees, they didn't make it. Sucks because a lot of people love them, but it is hard to say. But with Card Sharps, they did edge them out, as well as what's his name? JoJo Jackson, Jawbreaker JoJo. So that is it with it. In the end, with Gus, there's not much to say. Just like with Osgood, we talked about him. I love Gus. I've always said the episode is what I love. I love to hate the guy. I think that's what he's good at. When he's on that couch and he's going, more beer, Freddie, you know, tapping the can, I want to take Fred's bat and bash him upside the neck, dude. He is so annoying, but he's so good. When he touches that sweet roll, when he's like, Fred's all, what? What is it? He's all, tap, tap, tap.
Sure looks good.
What?
It's so funny, and we love it. I love the scene. I love the episode, but I want to kick the crap out of Gus. I'm all, don't you dare touch my sweet roll. And then Fred's like, here, you can have it now. You had your what is it? He said, you had your sleepover. You had your continental breakfast. It's time to check out. So everything with Gus to me is Fred and the everything behind it, right? And catching him, drinking all that beer. But man, I can't stand Gus. But I'm still shocked that he's only 15%. So it's looking like at this stage it's going to be as good as we expected. Sonny Cochran pulling the upset at 30%. Lou Turner, man, he's basically done. He's at 4% at the bottom. Still, interesting. Comment below. Please let me know, do you think it was he lost and then he faked the injury to try to save face? That's my thoughts. But the majority of our community have told me I'm wrong. And I'm not the expert. We are all on the same page. I'm just a fan like you guys. And a lot of these things we got to research together and learn. So that is it on our tournament. We will then finally have the championship where we get to go through it. Oh my gosh. And then we're coming into season 2. So that tournament's going to start up. Man, I can't tell you. And I want to say good news if you've watched a lot of times. Maybe I should save it for the start of the next video. A lot of times people don't finish our videos other than our diehards. So, you know, our big community, maybe 100 out of our 1,000 actually watch the whole video. But I guess I'll say it anyways. I got approved for YouTube monetization, and I'm going to have a membership where you can join and, you know, for a small fee and then monthly. I want to do with members. I'm going to have a live show only every week for members only, and to where we'll have topics, right? For that event, we'll have a half hour, sometimes an hour, where it's like 3 topics, and we just go with it and just have great conversations about Sanford and Son. But the other live shows that we still plan on doing, like where we do Saturday Night Live and we watch, that's always for anybody. I don't ever want to have someone have to pay to be something like that, because honestly, it's just a small group of us, and I love doing that. I love chatting with you guys. But that is cool. I'm so excited. I didn't know if it would get through, if I would get monetized, if I would. So I'm incredibly thankful for that, and thank you everybody for subscribing, and hopefully you'll join a member, and there'll be all sorts of perks. We'll talk about that, but have a great day. Enjoy your Sunday, and then Tuesday we got Sanford and Son episode breakdown. Go check our last one, Lamont Goes African, one of the best all time, and I love it. We've had a big pull with that one, over 2,000 views and over 50 likes. I usually don't get that many, so I'm very excited for that. And I just put out a new episode about Esther and Fred. How we almost didn't get Esther and everything Red Fox did behind it. It's just a short little, like, 5-minute video. So tune in, go watch those, and have a great week. Eventually, we'll get back to the game shows as well. Oh my gosh, so much going on in this channel, and I thank you, and I love every single one of you for subscribing and being part of this community. Have a great week, and be safe. Peace. Da, 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 da.